disability, illness, or injury can make living at home a challenging experience at times. Here to tell us how to navigate difficult decisions surrounding that, we welcome Frank Belante with Right at Home. Hi, Frank.
Hello, Bree.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's nice to have you back. We have a
Nice
lot
to
of
be here.
important things to talk about here.
Oh, there's quite a few.
First of all, let's talk about early discharges when it comes to hospitalization visits.
Yeah.
How are you telling your clients to prepare for this?
Well, we don't hear from them until after the fact, right? So this is part of this conversation, I think, also, and what to expect. Hospitals, there's a lump sum of money that actually goes into kind of admissions when you go into hospitals. And the quicker they get you out, it's kind of like it's almost like turning a table, right? So that they could fill another bed in order to keep the money flow, which causes early discharge, which causes the family some decisions that they're not necessarily where you used to stay in for maybe 7 days, you're getting discharged within 2, and it's like, what do we do now,
But
right?
they still need that care.
Huge amount of care. And really not able to take care of themselves. So we get a lot of these calls that the family's really not aware of how quickly that they're going to be left kind of on their own. So
Well, that creates a lot of anxiety.
it's really, really difficult for the family.
It sounds
really.
like a last minute sort of rush to get things ready for that patient coming home and for the families who are going to be the caretakers.
Well, and that's exactly right. And then what ends up happening along with this comes early discharge comes readmission, right? So the hospitals don't want readmissions because of there's a penalty to them if there's a readmissions. So they will go ahead and give you a list of where to go and companies to use so that they could get this bed, so to speak, free and have this person somewhat safe. But the family, I think, really even not only emotionally, but financially has to be prepared, because a lot of times once they're discharged, it's 24/7 that some of these people need for quite some time, which is a significant amount of money, really, that they have to, that insurance doesn't cover, which is another surprise that they get.
Wow. So what advice or information do you offer for families who find themselves in this situation?
You know, it really is to understand, it's almost like as soon as they're in the hospital, to go ahead and have a plan, talk to social workers, the team at the hospital, to go ahead and see what that may look like. An early assessment from any company that you choose similar to ours could be helpful too for success, because it may be you only need somebody 4 hours a day. It may not be, or 8 hours a day, or somewhere just to get through for the first week or two until they're up and running, or longer. But I think the more information, the more phone calls, and the more information you get up front is really, really impactful to success on the other end. So you're not on your own, and families are scattered all over, and this person's getting discharged, and it gets to be quite a show sometimes, unfortunately, for the families that are really unaware.
And what type of advice would you give those families if their loved one's suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia?
That's really, it's really difficult, because, you know, what we see a lot of times is during the holidays where families are they're closer, so you're spending a little bit more time together, that you're starting to notice these little differences of just not a calendar day off, or what day or what time is it with their loved ones, that it gets to be a little bit more significant, that they're leaving, directions are gone, they can't find their way home, that there's a progression that they haven't seen before that families really need to pay attention to. And I think really there's the Alzheimer's Association, we work really closely with the Alzheimer's Association, support them. I think there's calls that they can make outside to go ahead and have an understanding of exactly what it is. Is it early dementia? Is it Lewy body? Is it what are we actually dealing with, and how do you get there for success? And in saying that, in the caregiving industry, with companies coming out, really make your calls and understand that how impactful, how difficult it is, really, that you're dealing with another person almost, when you know that
Wow.
that tactile thinking, all these things change so quickly that you really need some expertise.
My goodness. So can you give our viewers and families some advice on the different care options, from minimal procedures to hospice?
Sure. You go in the hospital, you're having a hip replacement, you need a week potentially, right? That you know that you may not be able to get around, that you need to be safe, you don't want to fall. You know, our companies similar to ours are able to, kind of keep you safe, come in, cook, clean, do these things while you're bedridden, sometimes, or not mobile for whatever it may be, all the way to end of life, that you have this hospice care that we work with home health, that we come in, and towards the end, when it's transitional, that basically it's keeping everybody comfortable, most likely in bed, and being able to turn and make sure they're safe and make sure all these things are done. Our companies are able to kind of keep the families connected to that person without having to worry about all these other things that are going on that need to be done.
Sounds like a very compassionate company that you have, that really understands the needs of the patients and the families and everybody involved.
I have this phenomenal team. I have to tell you honestly, I am very fortunate to have a phenomenal team, because it comes from heart, right? You can teach skills, but you have to have heart in this business.
Absolutely.
And it's really difficult to find. But when you find it, it's a gift that we give to the families that I feel like it's pretty impactful.
Mm-hmm. And I think prior to that, you had an experience and you have a lot of passion for the home healthcare industry.
Well, yes. I came from, I was a fireman a long time ago. So we used to help in a different way, right? You go to take people out of buildings, and you go do what you need to do to kind of make a difference, I think. And I had to get out quite a long time ago. But circle back into a business that almost gives you that same type of feeling, that you're really giving back. When you do it right, there's nothing better. It's a very difficult business to do right. It's hard to take care of mom, dad, your grandparents. Nobody's ever good enough, and I understand that. We all understand that. But we really try to keep a high level of what we do to kind of get that care to a place where it really does justice.
Yes. Well, I know that the families really appreciate that. You have multiple locations. You're located here in Laguna Woods, correct?
Yes, we are from, our territory here is from the north end of, we go from Laguna all the way down to San Clemente, or actually the north-south end of Irvine all the way down to San Clemente is our area, and then we have all the bowl of the desert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going back and forth, right?
A little back and forth.
A little back and
yes.
forth. So if our viewers want to get a hold of you, should they go to your website? Should they call the phone number? What's the best way for them to reach out?
Either or, really. The website's great. It gives a lot of information. I think you could look up a lot of great reviews that we have, that you could just see a little bit about who we are and our team, and also that phone number is spectacular.
Okay, wonderful. All right, Frank, from Right at Home.
Well, I appreciate it, Bree. Thank you.
For your service to this beautiful community.
Thank you
for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Coming up next, the Heritage Club. Stay with us.